Hey fam, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are here with a food recipe that is a South Indian special paddu and chutney. So start the recipe, light up the stove and keep the pan for heat. Meanwhile, you can finely chop the onions, and once the onion is ready and the pan is heated, add some oil and wait for a minute or 1.5 minute to oil get heated. Then add the finely chopped onions to the pan and give it a stir and keep the flame very low and cook the onions properly. You don't have to cook the onions for 100% because it will again go to the rice batter and gets cooked into the paddu pan. So we just need to cook it for almost 60 to 70%, and as I told, we have to cook it in a low flame, so that definitely takes a time. And in meantime, you have to give it a stir so that one side of an onion gets overcooked and the other part gets undercooked. So we have to be very mindful when we are doing this, and we have to cook our onions very properly. But as I told you, it's only for 70%. Once it is done, keep it for some rest so that the heat goes out and we are good to add it to the rice batter. Meanwhile, our onions are getting rested and getting cooled down. We are getting started with preparation of our most famous South Indian chutney, that is coconut chutney. To start with, we have added coconuts to the jar, followed with some onions and garlic. Then comes the tamarind and salt as per the taste, and puttu. You should be very mindful when you're adding the salt because it goes with the taste. And you need to start grinding it, and be careful when you grind it because we have added coconut and paddu. It definitely needs some malt. So stop it in between, add some water as needed, as shown in the video, because water plays a major role when you're making a good and a flavorful chutney. So grind it well so that there are no lumps of there, and add water as much as water needed. Add it. You don't have to be worried your chutney getting very uh, flowy, because it doesn't really happen. So you just need to be very mindful and keep the water adding it is needed, and grind it well. So once the chutney is completely grinded, add some mint leaves and curry leaves because they play a major role, and you don't have to grind them fully, just to get it mixed with the chutney. So just one round or two rounds, just grind it and your chutney is ready. And you have to give a tadka to this chutney because that's when you get the flavor. To give the tadka, we have kept a pan, wait for it to catch the heat. Once it is heated up, add some oil, and again the oil should catch the heat so that we can start adding the tadka. So to start with, we will be adding here the rai, and we call it as sasve as well. So sasve should be popping up, so that's the sign of the good tadka. And again, as I told, we will be using too much of curry leaves because it's in South Indian dish, and South Indian dishes are very incomplete without the curry leaves. Unfortunately, I could not get the fresh curry leaves, so I have used the dehydrated one over here. Then once the tadka is ready, just add the chutney to it and just give it a stir. It don't really have to cook it, just give it a stir. So our chutney is ready. Now let's add the semi-cooked onion to the rice batter, and this is the main step which makes a paddu most flavorful. So add onion with it. Other few ingredient goes like jeera and stuff, so I'll be showing it in the video. So here comes our jeera. So I'm using just a normal jeera, it's not shahi jeera anything. Then again the curry leaves, because that gives the actual flavor for a South Indian dish. And we will be adding salt as per the taste. Be mindful while adding the salt because we have added salt to the chutney as well. Then comes some soda to just to give the fluffiness to the batter, because the fluffiness is needed. The batter is prepared last night also, it has got some yeast, but still the fluffiness comes with the soda. So don't add it too much, just a bit, to get that. And mix it well. The good you mix it, the good the flavor comes, because that needs to be spreaded with entire batter so that carries out in each and every paddu that you eat. Our batter is ready, so let's get started with the paddu. To start with, we have kept a paddu pan over here, and we are waiting for it to heat. So heat is the major key over here. It needs to be properly heated. So as you can see, my mom is just testing, and this comes with an experience, so you don't really have to be worrying when if you are a beginner. Just give it some time and you will learn it. Then add some oil to it. You can actually use ghee also, but I don't um, like having a ghee in paddu, so we are adding oil over here. So once you know that the pan is properly heated, then you can start applying the batter. And we have to be really careful when we add the batter, because the paddu batter that we are putting it in the pan should be evenly distributed. It should not be like one paddu has like a high amount of batter and the other one has a lesser, because this needs to be cooked properly and should not be like undercooked or overcooked. And you have to give it good 8 to 10 minutes to get it cooked. And it's always a good idea to close the lid and let it cook properly. So after 5 minutes, we're checking our one side of paddu is almost ready, so we are just giving it a turn, so that the other side also gets cooked properly, and we get to taste the proper South Indian paddu with the coconut style. You can see here, we just turned it out, and again we will be closing the lid for some time so that it gets properly cooked. So now we are almost done for 10 minutes, and as you can see, our paddus are properly cooked from both the sides. So we're just taking it out of the pan, and our paddus are almost ready to be served. So just take out, and as you can see here, our paddus are already in the plate. Just that we need to add chutney, and we're good to taste it. Here comes our tadkawali chutney, which we prepared just before some time, and we are almost done. Just waiting for my mom to finish it up so that I can taste it. So my mom started adding some mint leaves, and it doesn't serve any purpose. It's just for the garnishing and for the appearance to look it good. I'm just waiting when she'll be finishing it. All right, our plate is almost ready. I'm happy to go and taste it, guys. My Sunday is done with this, the flavorful paddus. I can't wait anymore. I'm going to taste it, guys. If you really want to taste it, go check out this recipe and make it and eat it. Just drop a comment how it tastes. Thank you.